Okay, I call the meeting to order of the Drainage District. May I have a roll call, please?
David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Joe Flores, Precinct 3.
Richard Cortez, County Judge. That constitutes a quorum.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a prayer,
Let us
please.
start the meeting with a prayer. All right, let's bow our heads. Father God, again, we give you many praises and thanks, Lord, for another day that you provided us to come serve, Lord. We continually pray for our leadership, Lord. We continue to pray for our judge and our commissioners that you've appointed, Lord, to lead this great county of ours. Continue to ask for your wisdom to be upon them, Lord, not just for themselves, for all those that work under them, Lord, and more importantly, your peace also to be upon them, Lord, as they continue to make the decisions that affect them all. Continue to bless them in everything that they do, Lord, and continue to bless their families around them as well, Lord. We just continue to pray and ask for your wisdom for myself as well, Lord, and all our workers that serve this great county, Lord, all the leaders that serve this great county, Lord. We pray for all those worldwide that are suffering, Lord, especially the families and the victims in Sri Lanka, Lord. We lift them up to you, Lord, for your comfort, for your healing hand upon those that are affected by the terrorist act, Lord. May just the healing be upon that country, Lord. We continue to pray for all those here in our area, Lord, all those that are close to home here in the Drainage District, Lord, for Mark and his daughter Lexi battling sickness, Lord. We lift her up to you, Lord, for your healing hand to be upon them and your hand of peace as well. And anyone in the Drainage District or in the county, Lord, that are battling illnesses right now, we lift them up to you, Lord. We just continue to ask for your guidance in all that we do, Lord. And may we just continue to honor you in all that we do with our actions, Lord. I ask this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Let the record show that Commissioner Eli Torres joined us. Next item on the agenda is the open forum. Do we have any people?
While we're waiting, Judge, I would like to take just a quick minute to invite everybody to our groundbreaking tomorrow. Did you have that on the agenda?
No, but under the bond referendum, I was going to elaborate on it. So
Sounds good, but just in general, the invitation to everybody as far as Mile 9 North and West Dakota and 1015, right in there, Chapa Las Brisas. So I'll wait for you to give some details in a little bit, but all the public is welcome to join us.
Okay.
Judge, Commissioners, we do have 3 participants for open forum. I'm going to ask the audience to please respect the speaker's time at the podium. There's a 3-minute time limit, and I will advise when there is 1 minute. Our first presenter is Rosa Valles.
Sí, buenas tardes, comisionados y juez y distritos del drenaje. Mi nombre es Rosa María Valles y vivo en la colonia Presidio. Vengo con la organización All-Rise y comunidades de todos los recintos para agradecer el proveer el servicio de traducción en la Junta de Drenaje y de Corte de Comisionados. Esto nos ha facilitado que la comunidad participe más cívicamente y que nos sintamos incluidos. Esto nos motiva a participar con más confianza y expresar nuestras preocupaciones. Esperemos seguir colaborando en el futuro. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, Judge, and Drainage District. My name is Rosa Maria Valle, and I live in the Colonia Presidio. And I'm here with the organization Arise and the communities of all precincts to thank you for providing the service of interpreting for the Drainage District meeting and the Commissioners' Courts meeting. This has made it easy for our community to actively participate and for us to feel included. This motivates us to keep participating and to more confidently express our concerns. We are hoping to continue collaborating with you in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next presenter is Yadira González.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Yadira González y yo pertenezco al precinto 1. Vengo a darle las gracias a todos los comisionados, al señor Cortés y también en especial al señor Cecín por el apoyo de 2 años de lucha para la traducción, que se ha logrado y muchas gracias y pues si nos quieren acompañar a la rueda de prensa terminando, ¿verdad? Su trabajo y los esperamos. Muchas gracias a todos y en especial al señor Cecín. Muchas gracias.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Commissioners, Judge Cortez, and Mr. Cecín. My name is Yadira Gonzalez, and I am leader of my neighborhood, Sioux Estates, in Precinct 1. We are very thankful that after 2 years of struggle, you have approved the services of interpreting so that we can understand these topics that are most important for us. We are hereby inviting you to our press conference that will begin at the end of the drainage meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our last presenter is María Romero.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es María Romero. El día de hoy represento a mi colonia Iowa Garden, es del precinto 4. Le quiero dar las gracias a todos, en especial a la comisionada Eli Torres, al señor Cecín, por haber pasado el bono para arreglar el drenaje de mi colonia. Y esperamos con tanto tiempo estar luchando porque se arreglara este problema que ha sido bien dañoso para nosotros, para mi comunidad. Pero gracias a Dios y también gracias al trabajo de ustedes vamos a poder arreglar la cuestión del drenaje. Gracias.
Thank you.
My name is Maria Romero, and I'm representing my colonia, Iowa Garden, in the Precinct 4. I would like to thank Ms. Eli Torres and Mr. Cecín for approving that drainage bond that will help us solve that harmful problem that has been an issue for my community. Thank God and thank to y'all's work that we'll be able to solve this issue.
Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes the open forum.
Yes, sir.
Next item in the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda.
No issues, sir. Everything's in order.
Second.
Okay. You want to read them just real quick?
Yes, sir. We have I apologize, Judge. We have our check register approval. There's only one check that we're approving for Precinct 1. And then general operations, we have a renewal lease for our copiers / printers that we have at the district. And then we have the renewal also of the uniform for our district employees.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Item 5A.
Yes, sir. 5A, approval of change to existing certificate of statute of completion and certificate of completion form, clarify items and add printed name and title of engineer or contractor. We're just updating our forms and also including in that is an approval signature line or we're stating who at the district is concurrently approving it. Just for the record, obviously we don't put these forms until they all have been approved by us, but we're putting where we sign off on them as well on the actual forms.
Move for
Get that
approval.
update.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 6A, requesting approval. 6A is a 2018 bond referendum project. Let me just start off that we've been approving a lot of these projects already, as you know, both the negotiations, contracts, and the actual work authorizations to start the work. And tomorrow we do have a groundbreaking scheduled at 9 a.m. at 10 a.m. at 10 a.m. Yeah, Chiapas Las Brisas area, right, as Commissioner mentioned earlier, on mile 9, just east of 1015, right next to the school there. There's a lot of, we're going to have a presentation for the kickoff. The school district's invited. We're going to have, you want to elaborate more about it?
The city will be participating as well. This is right on the county and city border, largest neighborhood in the city of Weslaco. About 500 homes that were impacted just in that one neighborhood. Our first project in Precinct 1, so we're very excited to get that started. So I'm looking forward to it, but all the public is invited to attend and join us for this celebration.
Correct. Okay. So I'll move on to 6A, requesting approval of fund negotiated professional service agreement. Subject legal review with Cruz Hogan Consultants, Inc. as it relates to professional engineering service related to project Highway 281 and FM 88 2018 bond referendum project number 14. Approved for negotiations by the Board of Directors on agenda item 68208.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 6.2, pursuant to the Board's approval of professional agreement with Cruz Hogan Consultants, Inc., requesting approval of work authorization number 1 in the amount of $117,206 to provide engineering service of Highway 281 FM 88, 2018 bond referendum project number 14, subject to legal review and compliance House Bill 1295. Contract CACDD 1 19-020-0423 WA1.
Move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item B, requesting approval of final negotiated professional service agreement, subject to legal review with CSJ Group as it relates to professional engineering service for the project Mile 11 North and Texas Boulevard 2018 bond referendum project number 23, approved for negotiations by the Board of Directors on agenda item 68360. Excuse me.
May I have a motion, please?
Move approval. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2, pursuant to the Board's approval of professional service agreement, CSJ Group requesting approval of work authorization number 1 in the amount of $817,955.94 to provide engineering service for Mile North and Texas Boulevard 2018 bond referendum project number 23, subject to legal review and compliance House Bill 1295. Contract number CHCDD 1 19-023-0423 WA1.
Move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item C, requesting approval of final negotiated professional service agreement, subject to legal review with LNG Consulting Engineers, Inc., DBA LNG Engineers. This relates to professional engineering service for the project Peñita Drain 2018 bond referendum project number 30, approved for negotiations by the Board of Directors on agenda item 67940.
Move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 2, pursuant to the Board's approval, professional agreement with LNG Consultants Engineers, Inc., DBA LNG Engineers, requesting approval of work authorization number 1 in the amount of $351,195.50 to provide engineering service for Vanitas Drain 2018 bond referendum project number 30, subject to legal review. Contract CHCD 1 19-015-0423 WA1.
Move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item D, requesting approval of final negotiated professional service agreement, subject to legal review with LNG Consulting Engineers, Inc., DBA LNG Engineers. It relates to professional engineering service for project South Lateral Drain 2018 bond referendum project number 34, approved for negotiations by the Board on agenda item 67940.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Pursuant to the Board's approval of professional agreement with LNG Consulting Engineers, Inc., DBA LNG Engineers, requesting approval of work authorization number 1 in the amount of $908,116 to provide engineering service for South Lateral Drain 2018 bond referendum, project 34, subject to legal review, contract CHCDD 1 19-011-0423 WA1.
Move for approval.
Second.
Just for curiosity,
Yes, sir.
what is the percentage of fee that you're paying?
All the fees that we've been negotiating to date have been under 9.5, anywhere from 8 3/4 to 9.5. We committed 10% would be the max, but we haven't even gotten to that point. And some of the numbers that we are running, including even some of the parcel sketches and field notes, would get us up to closer to the 10%. But that wasn't included in our commitment. It was solely for engineering services, and we're way under that right now.
Good job. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, just for
Thank-
point of clarification.
Yes, sir.
Project 34 is?
Yes, sir.
Where?
That is, it's a precinct 2 project, south side. It impacts the community of Las Milpas, the city of Hidalgo, and that whole area, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Item E, requesting approval of final negotiated professional service agreement, subject to legal review with Javier Hinojosa Engineering as it relates to professional engineering service for the project Mile 10 North and Mile 1 West 2018 bond referendum project number 21, approved for negotiations by the Board of Directors on agenda item 68180.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Pursuant to the Board's approval of professional service agreement with Javier Hinojosa Engineering, requesting approval of work authorization number 1 in the amount of $354,601.53 to provide engineering service for Mile 10 North and Mile 1 West 2018 bond referendum project number 21, subject to legal review and compliance with House Bill 1295, contract CHCDD 1 19-006-0423 WA1.
Move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 7, approval to issue payment. Application for payment number 3 in the amount of $31,500 from Venture Contractors LLC pertaining to construction contract number HCDD 1 18-04-90919 FM 495 drain control structure and Donna North lateral control structure.
Move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 8, general fund. Requesting approval from 110 general fund budget 006 M&O. Approval to issue payment on the following items. Invoice number DD-06 in the amount of $121,746.68 from Dow County Precinct 1 for reimbursement first quarter equipment use.
Move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item B, a request approval of budget amendment to transfer out from general fund $10 million into 2018 bond program budget, capital project fund 134, as per 2018 bond reimbursement resolution.
Move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Real quick, before you move on, when exactly do you think we'll actually issue the bonds? 'Cause
We're looking at that right now, Commissioner. We most likely will probably schedule that. The optimum time that we have been discussing with NOE has been this coming month or thereafter, or the next month. These are the optimal prime months to go out and get the most, I guess, positive rates for us. So we already have done internally, based on the contracts that we've been issuing, we've done some internal evaluations as to what we believe we can expend in the first year. Right now, we're looking at about $65 million that we've come up with. I need to go back and look at that with my staff to make sure. But we're looking at 65, perhaps more the first year. I know we had talked about 60, but we may raise that a little bit based on the timetable that we had set for ourselves and our consultants regarding how assertive we're taking this program right now. So
But this 10 million is to advance.
this money is just for us to get to our engineering that we're issuing, and that's it. And we've got some purchase that we've done some land here and there. This will carry us for now, but once we issue, we'll be in the position to fully blow and get
I
everything
had
done.
remembered April, May. I just curious
Yes, sir.
if we have an updated
Yes, sir.
schedule. Okay.
That's what we're looking at.
Before we go to the next item,
Yes, sir.
okay, just so I can get the legality, I thought, or somebody told me that we couldn't enter a contract for this stuff until we had the money. Is that true?
That's, I haven't had a chance to visit with the bond council as it being an issue.
Okay.
Yeah, no, and bond council, the opinion that we received was that we could, once the reimbursement resolution was in place, we could enter into everything that we have, and we're putting that money in place for that. We have money.
For design.
Yeah, and we have money in that for the design, and even for acquisition, we could use it. It was a pine that we could, but obviously right now our focus is getting our design plans in place, schematics, get to the level where we can fully start acquiring, because even though we have identified the areas that we want to work in some cases, that may change based on hydraulics. We may go one side of the ditch or the other, things like that. So we don't want to be buying property where we really don't need it. But for the most part, we feel very, very confident in what we've identified so far. But there are possible changes that may come, small ones, but we want to get that done before we go purchase.
And I think we did all of this before the end of the year because we wanted bond counsel to give us a permission to be able to do that.
That is correct, and he did issue that opinion,
Yeah,
yes.
so
Okay.
you can, I think, for your reference in December, I think we took action on that item.
Okay. Well, I wasn't here in December.
Yeah,
so
bond
that's
counsel Chewy did issue that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. B2.
Thank you, sir. Requesting approval budget amendment, District General Fund 2018 budget in the amount of $1,289,973 for open purchase orders as of December 31st, 2018.
Move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item C, requesting approval of SMB Infrastructure LTD Works Authorization Number 22 in the amount of $372,000 for work associated with the continuance of general contract management and related services for the development of the master drainage system Phase 2 involving the design and expansion of the Rainbow Drain Outfall System. Said work authorization will be issued out. Fund 130 Capital Projects Fund Budget 010 for Rainbow Drain.
Approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Just for the benefit of the board and the public, we are working very aggressively on trying to get our environmental in place. We've been in communication with the Corps. Our consultant has been very key in keeping that communication open. We should be forthcoming here in the next few months to get the environmental going. We have reached out to Willacy as well, and we're coordinating a meeting with them because we will have a public hearing in Willacy as well regarding that project. So that'll be forthcoming here in the next 60 days. We'll start having the publishing for the public hearing and all that. So we're going to move very assertively to try to get this project moving so we can get the environmental cleared, and at the same time Our consultants are also committed in this next year to start seeking funds for construction. You know, we've invested a lot in the development of the project, and we're really going to be pushing to try to bring funds in for construction to keep this project moving. So
We
Thank
are
you.
talking about Raymondville Drain, right?
that is correct, sir.
So Raul and I met with, and I know that Ellie's, some of Ellie's staff was there as well. We met with the GLO in hopes that they'll identify this as a regional project where they'll be able to willingly give us some money to assist with the construction and keep that project going, because that's really, really critical. For,
The two
for
regional, as you know,
Commissioner
the Delta and the Rainville are two big projects that we're calling regional because they are, and we're trying to see how we can get funding to continue the development of those projects, get them to construction.
But you did a great job of representing us, so thank you.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Is there a need for closed session?
Mr. Sissin, closed session?
No, we have no items today for closed session.
Move for adjournment.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We've got maybe
10
7 minutes, 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. May I have a roll call, please?
David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Joe Flores, Precinct 3.
Ellie Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge, that constitutes a quorum. Please join me for a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we come together today for the good of the citizens of Hidalgo County. Inspire us with the qualities of good leadership and give insight to make wise decisions, integrity to face the truth, and courage to make difficult choices. Make us a model of justice and honor in the world. And let us not forget that our job is to serve both you and others. Amen.
Next item is approve the consent agenda.
Yes.
Any commissioner want to pull any item out for separate discussion?
Judge, Commissioners, yes, if we could pull out consent agenda item 12A, 1 and 2, and consent agenda item 12B.
Move for approval without those items.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, I'd like for the court to take action on consent agenda item 12A, 1 and 2, and 12B. And for the record, Commissioner Fuentes is abstaining, my apologies, from any discussion and/or action related to consent agenda item 12A, 1 and 2, and 12B.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We now go into a regular agenda item, item number 5A.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Here on item 5A, agenda item 69947, discussion and action on the proposed terms for redesignation agreement and bylaws for consolidation of the Hidalgo County MPO, Brownsville MPO, Harlingen San Benito MPO, and authorization for the county judge to execute same, and authority for the county judge to execute the redesignation agreement prepared by the Texas Department of Transportation, providing such agreement contains substantially similar terms to those authorized by the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court.
Move for approval.
Second.
Is that the same, I got a question, is that same as we approved on the resolution?
The resolution is the same. The actual terms were slightly different. Those were sent out.
But it's almost the same. Move second then.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
To honor our district judges that are here, we have to put them back to work. I'd like to move the agenda, which is at item 13F. F.
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. Raul Figueroa from Department of Human Resources. Item 13F. Don't get my bag. Item 13A first, Judge Commissioners, requesting a waiver of the budget amendment policy for personnel-related amendments for personnel items that are listed below, as we may require a budget change.
Move for approval.
Second.
Okay, so we moved from 13F, we moved to 13A so we can approve that as a prerequisite. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Now we're going to move to 13F. Information. Judge Commissioners, the item reads discussion, consideration, and action on order submitted by the Board of Judges requesting adjusting the salaries of court reporters of the respective district courts, county courts, including the auxiliary court and the country courts of law of Hidalgo County, as on the exhibit. What I have given you, Judge Commissioners, there's a packet. There's three documents. One document lists the salaries for court reporters in the 13 largest counties in Texas. Ma'am, did I not give one?
Commissioner, here you go.
I'm sorry.
You're wearing blue.
No, I have it here. I had mine. Let me give one.
Thank you.
As I was saying, Judge Commissioner, there's three documents that we have attached. One has the salaries by county for the 13 largest counties in Texas, based on population. And then we have some salary analysis by court. And there may be, I think there's an error on one of them, but it lists the current salaries for the court reporters. Incidentally, each judge during the budget process submits a request for the salary of the court reporters, so they're not even. Every judge sets their own salary, and they did so last year during the budget process. And then they got the 3% COLA, including the 3% COLA. The middle column includes the requested salary. The judges are asking that all court reporters' salary be adjusted to $98,000, and it lists the number, the amount, and the percentage. And the last column includes an option. The statutes indicate or say that the salaries can be increased by no more than 10% in any 1 year, unless Commissioner Court approves. Kind of like the auditors. In other words, there's a cap unless the court wants to go above the cap. So in this case, you can see the percentages. They vary from 2% to 21%. So I wanted to make sure the court understood that and was aware of that. I think the judges are concerned that they have been unable to fill some court reporter vacancies. I think there's 4 vacancies right now, some as long as 3 months, and they're having some difficulty. And I think they feel that that with this adjustment, they can attract some court reporters. I'll let the judge make his comments to you. Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Silguero. Commissioners, Honorable County Judge, I do need to correct Mr. Silguero on one thing. The law does not say that you cannot do it. In fact, what the law says is that the district courts cannot order you to do it if it is above the 10% normally that is allowed under the statute. If it is over 10%, we are required to get permission from the Commissioner's Court, and that is, in fact, why we are here. We recognize that it is over 10% in many instances. I know that you received some information from Mr. Silguero. I was not privy to that information that you were given. We had all our information at the county, at the judges' meeting when we discussed this issue. We've discussed it several times. There is a dire need to not only attract more court reporters, but retain those that we have. We are actually losing court reporters just to our neighboring county, which is Cameron County. They're paying their court reporters in excess of, I think, 95 now. And we've lost some court reporters just to our neighboring county. By the way, that county is half our size. The only county that I can report to you that we are not competing against is Willacy, because they don't have enough money. And one of the problems that we have is that not only do we not have enough court reporters here, but we don't have enough court reporters in the state of Texas to fill the positions that we are having to fill. So that is why we're making this request. We have courts that are working, unfortunately, not at full capacity because of lack of staffing. We have even trouble finding temporary help to assist the courts in getting through our dockets and the cases that we have to hear on a daily basis. That is, in fact, the main reason why we're coming to you. In order for us to effectively and efficiently run our courts, we need to properly staff them. And this is not a staffing issue where you're not giving us the position, but rather we're having to compete with other courts throughout the state of Texas. I'm welcome the commissioners and the county judge to ask.
There was a disparity by different courts for what they were paying their court reporters. Would you have any idea as to why that disparity existed?
Historically, what has happened is that the court reporter's position was treated in many instances just like any other employee. We have since figured out that the skilled position of court reporter is harder and harder to fill. And so now we don't have the discretion that we had before. Some courts were paying their court reporters less because they chose to do that. We treat each court as an independent elected official, an elected position, and so that discretion was given to each particular court. We tried to keep up, and we encouraged each other to try to equalize that, but it didn't happen across the board. So that's why you have some disparity. In addition to that, you do have a lot of new court reporters that were being hired at lower rates, and the older court reporters, let me rephrase that, the more experienced court reporters that had more seniority here and were actually getting paid more as they moved along in their careers. And that is why there was a disparity. Or a change or difference.
And this proposal here, at least like the middle column on that second page that you gave us, Raul, has all the court reporters at the same.
Absolutely. In fact, one of the issues that we have encountered is we don't want to compete with other counties, and we don't want to compete with each other. We don't want a court reporter that's working for the 370th, not that mine would leave. She's a loyal person to me, but we don't want one court reporter leaving one court in Hidalgo County to go to another court because they can get paid more in another court.
But what about the experience factor?
Right.
The experience factor, eventually we'll have to tweak as we move along. Right now, the reason that we are asking for a figure that's across the board is so that we can compete, retain, and acquire the services of people that are from outside the area. We don't have anybody in the area that's interested in taking those positions. Those people that are working independently through independent court reporting services, they're happy where they are. They do not wish to work for the courts. It's not cost effective for them, and sometimes it's not something they want to do.
You know, salaries are for services rendered. Am I to believe, Judge, that each court reporter performs equal services to each court?
The service provided to each court of that of an official court reporter is exactly the same. The amount of work put in obviously depends on the type of case that they're entrusted with, the type of caseload they're entrusted with. So, of course, there's going to be some differences in load, but the actual duties and responsibilities are identical. Each court has an official court reporter, and they're responsible for making sure that every time that a record is supposed to be kept for the court and what is occurring in the court is taking place is taken down officially by that court reporter.
Well, can we make any increase discretionary to say, let me give you an example, and I'm just learning. So Mr. Salguero and the lawyer here, if we were to authorize you up to a certain amount, okay, for you to do it, for you to have discretion when those circumstances dictate for that court reporter to get paid for that, as opposed to just give it to them whether they perform the services or not. I'm just looking for information to make a decision.
If I understand your question, what you're asking is if somehow you can use some sort of, I guess, amorphous wording that would allow the court the full discretion that it enjoys now in moving the salaries. And that's what, in this court's opinion, Noé Gonzalez's opinion, and the opinion of many of the other judges, was what got us into the position we're in. We actually had a lot of discretion, and some courts used that discretion, and the salary was lower. We started to lose some court reporters, and then to get them back, we have to set, and that's what the judges agreed to, put a steadfast rule that, look, every court reporter is going to get paid the same. Everybody's going to have the same responsibilities. And that way we don't have that problem in the future.
Judge, what you're saying is that, and we can do that, the positions are not classified positions. We could do it like where the positions are budgeted at that amount, and then the judges could hire at this level and then submit a change of status to move them up depending on experience. They could do that, and they would all be budgeted at the same amount. If they wanted to have that flexibility, or you want to have, that flexibility, it could be done.
Because first thing, they're not included in the stipend grade, right?
No, sir.
Okay. Is this coming out of our budget or their budget?
It's all general fund.
General fund.
Yes, sir.
And we used to have the same problem with the how do you call it, the divvies years ago. Remember that? Where those are their border patrol, highway patrols, and all those because they were underpaid.
A couple of years ago, we did an across the board for deputies because they were being, they were going to border patrol or federal agencies that paid more. We had a lot of turnover, so we did make some adjustment to try to retain.
I have a question for you. So are our court reporters underpaid, or is it that we have a shortage of court reporters?
I think what the judge is saying is...
He didn't have to speak for me. Mr. Salguero is not familiar with court reporters in the state of Texas. He's done some research for purposes of budgeting. I'm telling you right now, this is not an Hidalgo County problem. Across the state of Texas, we are having this problem. There is legislation, by the way, that I, with the permission of the other judges, is pushing. In fact, it was on the House floor today. Legislation getting you, the county government, an extra $100 to $120 some odd $1,000 from an extra fee. You all were not privy to that because we did it on our own. But that going to the general fund, not to us. And so we did that as part of a fee that we chose to push through the legislature for the county to increase a filing fee on civil cases. But to go back to what was being talked about as far as the shortages, Judge, fellow commissioners, you have before you a profession that is very unique. No one else. I cross-train all of the employees in my court, but no one else can be an official court reporter unless they're certified. And those certifications are harder and harder to get in the state of Texas, and that's what's going on. And in addition to that, the statewide dilemma is being addressed not only by us, but the legislature right now, the Bar Association, and various organizations, including the court reporting organizations. They're trying to figure out how to get reciprocity from other states that have certified court reporters so we can attract them into the state of Texas. We're trying to figure out if there's other systems, electronic systems, that can be used, at least temporarily, to supplant the necessity for a person when we can't find that a person to fill that position. So it is a broad issue, and it is being addressed at different levels. But
Judge.
I will repeat, I got a text from Curtis Smith, from State Representative Terry Canales' office, that this morning that bill that we were pushing to increase the filing fee on civil cases for our court reporters fund was running through the legislature, and it was looking good, and we didn't expect any opposition.
Well, I've heard enough. Move for approval.
I'll second.
I want to discuss it further because I want to make sure that we don't have two classes of employees, because I absolutely agree with you, Judge, the need to do this. But we established what do you call it, step and grades to account for this sort of thing, to be able to have that discretion and to be able to give value where value is pointed. So when you tell me that everybody's equal, it may go contrary to to the step and grade that we have. So I don't know. I'm not HR, so I'm going to ask you.
Currently, Judge, these positions are not classified. They're not in the step and grade.
Okay.
For the reason that the statute gives the judges but I need to make one comment. When the county reaches a population of 1 million, then there's a different law that comes into play, and they will have to be classified and become part of the step and grade.
Can I ask a question real quick? I know I already made the second, but the proposal then on the approval is for the 98,000? Is that sufficient?
Yes, Commissioner.
I mean, that's going to be what you believe will be competitive enough to start getting some qualified
Believe
applicants?
me, when we discussed it, people were talking about higher numbers. I went with that figure. I made the motion for that figure because I believed that was a figure that was reasonable for our county under the circumstances, with the construction going on, what we were able to get through the legislation this time around to assist the county, and that was something that I felt comfortable with. This increase is actually for 22 courts. If you consider the legislation we're pushing through, this increase with the legislation that we're pushing through will only cost the county probably a little over $100,000 to $150,000.
But you'll be attracting better talent.
Absolutely.
And retaining the talent that we actually have.
I have a question. How is it going to be handled when you have someone who has 23 years experience as a court reporter complaining about, I'm getting paid the same amount of money as a rookie? How is that going to be handled?
So that was one of the questions that I asked the court reporters. They have, by the way, they have an organization locally, but they also have regional and state organizations and national organizations. They understand those issues. And so they're more concerned at this point to make sure that they're able to have the court reporters filling those positions, because it puts a big burden on them to be moving from court to court when necessary, and we do that already. So they don't have a problem with it. Those that will complain about it haven't complained to us, and they haven't complained to each other. They're all in on this proposal. They want to make sure that we can fill all the positions so that they can, in fact, work together and make sure that every court has a court reporter, so that every court can work whatever hours need to be worked to get their cases heard.
And when would this take in effect?
We would do it effective the next pay period.
Okay. And for budgeting purposes, the budget provides?
Well, if you approve it, the budget officer will have to...
We'll find the money?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Anyone else?
I think said he was making his way up just to address the budget.
Here's the budget guy.
Judge Commissioners, in regards to the funding of the position, we will have to take that from contingency. It's roughly about $157,000 prorated. And as the judge mentioned, there is House Bill 3361 that passed the House, is going to go to the Senate for approval. And roughly there's about 15,000 civil cases that are filed here in Hidalgo County that will generate roughly about $450,000 in additional revenue. Should cover the cost of the increases and then also pay for other transcripts and things like that. Right now, we are falling short in the transcripts, so that would also cover that as well.
I have a question. Is there any plan for the future to bring down a program of some sort to train and produce more court reporters? Because throwing money into a hole that's into a hole is not going to solve the problem.
And I would agree with you if we were actually throwing money into a hole, Commissioner, but I do have to stress that this is money that's going to skilled individuals, specialized individuals that if they decide to go to San Antonio, would be getting paid over $110,000 to $120,000 with their experience. By the way, that organization that I talked to you about locally and regionally, they're working right now, I think, with STC, and they are formulating a program to bring that program down here. Presently, the closest program is in Corpus Christi with Del Mar, and they can't get enough people coming out of there and passing the certification examinations in order to become official court reporters. So that's part of the struggle. But we're working on that too.
And I'm very familiar with the court system, and you can't conduct trial, you can't conduct business without a court reporter. So I very well understand that. But I wanted to give it the attention that it deserved, and I wanted to have the options that I was looking for if I had those options available. And that's why the discussion is necessary. So don't misunderstand any of my questions in any way other than to seek the best information to make the best decision. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Judge.
Can I finish the HR items, since I'm here?
You're asking me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Judge, item 13B for Precinct 4. Judge, this is Precinct 4 sanitation, approval of the following personnel actions effective next full pay period. The precinct is asking to add supplemental pay to slot number 0015, a maintenance 1 position in the amount of $1,500.
Move for approval.
The position is a...
There's a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Okay.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C, for the tax office, they're asking approval of a title change. It's no change in grade or salary. It's from Executive Assistant 1 to Supervisor 2, slot 0019.
Move for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
2, also the tax office are asking for the following personnel actions. They're asking that we delete 3 positions as listed, 0031, 0037, and 0161. They're Administrative Assistant 3, Grade 8, Title Examiner 1, Grade 6, Administrative Assistant 2, Grade 6, and to create slots 0211, 0212, and 0213, Administrative Assistant 4, Deputy Clerk 2, and a Deputy Clerk 2.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
For facilities management, the department is asking that we create slot 0126, maintenance 1 at a grade 3.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
For that position, we're asking approval to waive the posting, hiring, and enrollment procedures and transfer employee number 233749 from custodian 1, grade 1, step 7, to maintenance 1, grade 3, step 3, pursuant to section 3.49G of the Civil Service Commission rules, effective upon Commissioner's Court approval. This is to correct a hiring procedure.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And number 3 is approval of the following personnel actions effective upon Commissioner's Court approval. We're asking to delete slot 0125, custodian 1.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item E for the county treasurer, the office of the county treasurer, they're asking approval of the following personnel actions next full pay period. And this is a net wash on the cost. They're asking to delete slot 0003, division manager 2 payroll at a grade 16, and to create slot 0015, executive assistant 2.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And the related item is to reclassify slot 004, payroll specialist 2, grade 12, supervisor 3, and this person will be performing the duties that were previously done by the division manager 2.
Move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
and
Do we have
Commissioners.
anybody sign up for open session?
Yes, sir, we do, and I'm gonna guess, Ms. Fern, did you sign? Okay, because
Well, I'm going to move it up to,
Okay.
for now.
and the reason I said I was gonna guess is I really couldn't, it was
So
very quick.
item 28, open session.
Okay, so we do have Ms. Fern McClarity signed up. I'm going to ask the audience to please respect the speaker's time at the podium. There is a 3-minute time limit. I will advise when there is 1 minute. Ms. Fern?
Okay, I am showing you what I had got for open records. And at the top, it was saying that it was about the streetlights being delinquent. So that's where I got my numbers. But I couldn't figure out how these people were supposed to be paying a little bit for the light bills. Well, what I found out, and I believe you have it on the agenda today, that, and y'all seem to be very proud of the 96% and the 89% that they are paying. But we have I don't know how to say it, SUENO subdivision, our Colonia, they're collecting of their light bills are 68%. But over here on their tax bill, which is the people that are there, their property taxes are $39,418.23 in that Colonia that have not paid their property taxes. So another burden is these lights. Y'all may think only $10 or whatever, but these people are hurting because they cannot pay the taxes on their property. Also, you have another one that is 75% they've paid on their little lights that they have the deal. And on that one, they are $12,417 in the rear on property taxes. And then another one, which is Polmex, I don't know. They are 77% paying their little light bill, but they're almost $30,000 on property taxes. So sooner or later, these people that I went through hours and hours trying to find out what was going on are going to lose their homes sooner or later. So I'm hoping that someone will check with these people, because some of them I told y'all last time was $6,000. Like I say, I couldn't figure out about the light bill being so high. It's their property. They're going to lose the roof over their head, over their children. Y'all are always saying how y'all are concerned about people. How about let's see if we can find a way. These people can't afford another $10 or whatever that you're doing. So I did have the numbers wrong, but it was because I had requested and thought that I had the delinquent lights. But then I found out these people are delinquent on their property. You can pay your property taxes, but these people obviously can't. So I wish y'all would check, because some of these are in Precinct 4, some of them are in Precinct 1. And I'm not sure, I'm sure of the other 2 precincts. So let's help these people. You just heard the judge say that they are going to raise the fees. That's on these poor people here. If they have to get a divorce or they have to go to court for something that's civil. Again, another tax on the people that I understand were in this room a while ago. So please check on these. I did a lot of homework.
Is there anyone else?
No, sir.
Okay. We'll go back to regular agenda item number 6A. District Attorney's Office.
Judge, Commissioners, just for the record and for, I'm sorry, Ms. Rosie, and just for the record, with respect to the agenda items that we just acted upon, regular agenda item 13B, 13D, and 13F, for the Auditor's Office, the budgetary aspect of that action will be addressed.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Judge Rosalinda Cantu presenting for the District Attorney's Office. Item 6A, discussion, consideration, and action on memorandum of understanding between Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney Ricardo Rodriguez Jr. and Texas Victim Services Association.
For approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 6B, Title 4E, Fund 1100, approval for a county judge to sign the following documents: A, assurances, non-construction programs, and B, certification regarding lobbying.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 7A, HIDA Chapter 59, Fund 1251, approval and authorization of interfund transfer from Hidalgo County HIDA Task Force Chapter 59 Fund 1251 to the Sheriff's Chapter 59 Fund 1227 and the Constable Precinct 3 Chapter 59 Fund 1230 and the Constable Precinct 459 Chapter 59 Fund 1231 in the amount of $10,000 each respectively.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 7B, number 1, is authorization and approval to terminate the existing memorandum of understanding between the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office, HIDA Task Force, and the following: Constable Precinct 3, 4, and Sheriff's Office.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
7B2, authorization and approval to accept the memorandum of understanding between the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office, HIDA Task Force, and the following: Hidalgo County Constable Precinct 3, Hidalgo County Constable Precinct 4, and Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Chief Herrera of the Sheriff's Office, Hidalgo County. Item 8A. Number 1, authorization and approval to accept the grant adjustment notice in reference to Operation Snow Garden fiscal year 2016 supplemental awards of $870,948.59 and authorization for the county judge as authorized official to sign and initial required documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
2, authorization to pay overtime reimbursements under grant terms and conditions.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
3, approval and certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for fiscal year 2016 Operation Stone Garden Supplemental.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
4, approval and to appropriate the budget for the Sheriff's Office fiscal year 2016 supplemental in the amount of $499,502.41.
Move for approval.
Second. I got a question. Why does it say 2016? Is that 2016 that was way back in?
Yes, we're still using those funds.
All right. Move for approval.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
8B1, pursuant to local government code subchapter D-263.1512A and or B, declaration of asset number 032257 issued firearm as further detailed in the supporting documentation containing herein as surplus for the purpose of disposition.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
2, pursuant to governmental code section 614, permitting a peace officer retiring from a governmental agency to purchase their assigned firearm, requesting that Hidalgo County Commissioners Court approve the value of Senior Deputy Carlos Perez issued firearm at the fixed asset value of $48.79.
Move for approval.
Second.
By the way, all this is within the rules.
Yes.
Is that correct, Steve?
I believe it is specified in the government code section.
All right. Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
C, authorization to accept one Magline MDS 16-92-36-6F-AS-12C mobile container loading ramp from the Texas LEOS program, formerly known 1033 program, to include ramp in the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office asset inventory.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. That's a big one. That's a long one, isn't it?
Yeah. D, authorization to purchase 5 wireless devices through the county membership/participation with the contract DIR TSO-3420, requisition number 388905, with awarded vendor AT&T for the following. It's going to be 5 internet service connection cards.
For approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And item 8E, we are requesting no action at this time.
Okay.
That
By
is
the
all.
way, I attended, before you leave, I attended the Sheriff's Award banquet last night. I want the public to know that there were 3 deputies that received an award for saving the life of an individual. That was pretty special.
Yes, it was.
So congratulations.
Thank you for attending. Thank you, Judge and Commissioners.
Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. Deputy Alonso on behalf of Constable Cantu's office. I'm here on 9A, discussion, consideration, and approval to appoint Hipolito Hinojosa as Reserve Deputy Constable by Constable Martin N. Cantu, Constable Precinct 2, in accordance with Texas Local Government Code Section 86.012.
Move for approval. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Larry?
Good afternoon. Commissioners, Judge, item number 10, approval to renew an local agreement between Hidalgo County and the following school districts for the 2019-2020 school year, and that would be La Jolla Independent School District, Mission Consolidated Independent School District. This is a partnership that we've had for 18 years where we have deputies assigned to these school districts, especially the schools that are in the rural area to provide protection, and they also assist with keeping kids in school so they're not out on the streets.
Approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Julio Espinosa from the Tax Office. Item 11A, discussion and approval to execute an interlocal agreement between the County of Hidalgo and the City of San Juan for implementation of scofflaw procedures and processes for vehicle registration and denial services.
May I have a motion, please?
Move for approval. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Oh, my apologies, Judge. I'm sorry. Apologies. 12A, 1 and 2, there's no action or no discussion today. 12B, I'm going to ask Mr. Salinas to please step up to the podium. 12B is introduction of our new IT Department Director, Mr. Daniel Rene Salinas. Mr. Salinas?
Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. I'm very happy, excited, and honored to be part of the Hidalgo County family. I come from Mercedes, Texas. I got here as soon as I could.
Good to have you.
Welcome aboard.
Right. And Judge, Commissioners, again, with respect to Mr. Salinas, he did take the reins. Officially, it was on a Wednesday after the 2-day orientation. He has been hard at work. He and I have already had to have, we've had some interaction with respect to a project at hand. And as the days go by and as the weeks go by, surely this week I want to make arrangements so that he can go personally to each precinct and have a discussion with respect to the infrastructure needs and or any type of IT issues of concern to be brought to his attention so that he can start addressing them. Thank you so much, Mr. Salinas.
Welcome.
Sure.
Item 12C, Judge Commissioners, is for the Hidalgo County Historical Commission. First one is presentation approval of officers for the 2019-2021 term. You do have in your packet and in your backup, you have the members and the terms.
Good afternoon, Honorable Judge and Commissioners. I'm Adela Ortega, and I respectfully present to you, I'll be the chairman for the Hidalgo County Historical Commission for 2 years. And then our preservation chairperson will be Aida Escobar, cemetery chair Harry Raskiski, publicity media is Adalia de Luna, treasurer is Augie Peña, secretary D. Lopez. This is before you for approval.
Move for approval. Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. And thank you so much for your service.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. It was wonderful. We have so many historic properties and buildings and people, and it's awesome. Also before you is the members of the commission. We have a total of 25, and I've listed by precincts. You're welcome to appoint. I have an additional 5 that you can appoint, each one of you, if you prefer. Please let me know. These have been called, and some have been serving, and some are new. We got 5 from Precinct 1. We've got 2 from Precinct 2. We got 6 from Precinct 2, perdona. We have 5 from Precinct 3, and we have 4 from Precinct 4.
I have a
This is
motion
before you.
to approve, or do you have any changes?
Move for approval.
Second. Thank you so much.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We do not have a budget, but when we are requesting a marker or we send a letter to the financial director, and it's approved. So I thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Judge Commissioners, item D is a reappointment of member Oscar Ramirez to the Hidalgo County Housing Authority Board, and this is for Precinct 1.
Move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
The next 2 action items, item E and F, are related and request an action. Item E is approval to accept a settlement check from Pronto General Agency in the amount of $8,500, and this will settle a total loss accident with one of our county vehicles.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item F is approval to accept a settlement check from Fred Loya Insurance Agency in the amount of $526.10, and this will settle an auto accident with one of our county vehicles.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item G, Facilities Management, is authorization and approval to purchase new wireless data service plans through the county's membership participation under our DRR TSO 3415 contract, and this is with Verizon Wireless, and it's for 2 new data services, and they are for office use.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Second action item would be the interdepartmental transfer to fund the expenditures.
Move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And Judge Commissioners, item H is under the Texas AgriLife Extension Service. Judge Commissioners, as you will know, the AgriLife Extension Service is a state-sponsored program. We do assign county employees to that program in assistance. The Texas AgriLife Extension Service is having a conference. It'll be held at their, not the flagship A&M, but at the Westaco Center, and they will be closed on April 26, 2019. And again, this is training that's going to be held at District 12 office in Westaco. The reason I put this on the agenda is, Judge Commissioners, as always, we encourage all training to all our county employees, and so the 4 individuals, or I believe it's 5, my apologies, 5 slots that we have assigned to the AgriLife will be participating in this training in Westaco. So for purposes of disclosure, the AgriLife Extension Service will be closed on Friday, April 26, 2019.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
So we have
We've
Mr.
already been to item 13.
Yes.
So 14A.
Yeah, Mr. P.R. Avila.
Good morning, Judge, or good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. P.R. Avila with Hidalgo County Urban County Program. Item 14A, presentation and approval of proclamation declaring April 22nd through April 26th at CDBG Week.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 14B1, subject to compliance with House Bill 1295, requesting approval of a best and final negotiated contract for professional services, construction material testing services with Robert Kistner Consultants, Inc., in the amount of $9,989.38, utilizing CDBG funds 2015 La Jolla Street Improvement Funding.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 14B2, approval of work authorization number 1 for Robert Kisner Consultants, Inc. in the amount of $9,989.38 for material testing for La Jolla Street improvements.
For approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 14C, subject to compliance with House Bill 1295, requesting authority to purchase equipment through Hidalgo County's membership and participation with by board approved vendor, Craftsman Commercial Playground and Water Parks. Contract number 512-16 in the amount of $58,908.32. That includes freight and delivery to the City of Elsa General Funds. It's including City of Elsa General Funds and the City of Elsa UCP fiscal year 31 parks and recreational facilities.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 14D, subject to compliance with House Bill 1295, requesting authority to purchase equipment through Hidalgo County's membership and participation with by board approved vendor Tenzo McAllen LLC, by board contract 512-16 in the amount of $13,330.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you
you,
very
Judge.
much, Ms. Robles.
Thank you, sir. Adult probation?
Yes. Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Faustino Lopez with Adult Probation. I'm here on item 15A, 69814, January 2019, approval of certification of revenues by the county auditor for the DWI grant program income in the amount of $2,635 and appropriation of the DWI program income in the amount of $2,635.
For approval.
You want to go ahead and do February and March?
Okay, for February 2019, approval of certification of revenues by the county auditor for the amount of, for the DWI grant program income in the amount of $4,557 and appropriation in the amount of $4,557. And for March 2019, approval of certification of revenues by the county auditor for the DWI grant program income in the amount of $4,821 and appropriation of the DWI program income in the amount of $4,821.
Have a motion to approve?
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Judge, Commissioners, if I may, for CSA 16A is discussion, consideration, and action to approve and adopt the 2019 Senior Corporation Program bylaws. Everything was attached to the agenda.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And 16B is discussion, consideration, and possible action on amendment to the fiscal year 2018 Comprehensive Energy Assistance Program, contract number 581-800-02784 from Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs for program year 2018, and this is with authorization for Mr. Jaime Longoria to sign any and all pertinent documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
16C, discussion, consideration, and action to approve correction to agenda item 69413 for community service block grant number 611-800-2861, budget amendment for program year 2018.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Good afternoon, Hilda Salinas, Assistant Director with the Hidalgo County Elections Department. Item AI-69783, approval of the 2009 May Uniform Election Service Contract between Hidalgo County and the following entities for their elections to be held on May 4th, 2019. Number 1, City of La Villa. Number 2, City of Peñitas. Number 3, City of San Juan. Number 4, City of Mercedes. Number 5, City of Wesco. And number 6, McAllen ISD.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
I know. The early vote started yesterday.
Yeah, it started yesterday.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Judge. Edmundo Garcia for Head Start. Ms. Flores sends her apologies. She couldn't be with you today. She's under the weather a little bit, so I'm here for her place. We have item 18A, and I apologize because the first three items, they denote a presentation. It's not really a presentation. We just wanted to tell you folks about the nutrition contest that we have every year, where the parents and the family come together to prepare meals, and so the winners are attached. I don't know if you want me to read them. The centers that participated, and they won. So they have a little contest every year, and they really work very hard at it. And in years past, some of the commissioners also visited the areas. So it's just
how many winners are they?
I'm sorry?
How many winners are they?
How
many are in the list?
Okay. Well, all the centers, one from each area, actually wins. They're classified depending on area. For example, first place, we have for two classroom centers, La Hacienda, second place, UTRGV, and third place, Progreso. Okay, and then we move on to three classroom centers, San Juan, Western Road, Mission 4, four classrooms, FAR, Sullivan City, La Jolla. So they span the whole area. Alton, six classroom centers, Alton, Palmview, Roosevelt, in McAllen, Edinburgh 5, Mercedes 1, and Navarro. Those are the winners for the nutrition contest award. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. And the second item B, presentation of the ribbon cutting ceremonies. Again, this is our yearly event. This is really where we select 10 blue ribbon centers based on the excellence performance achievement with the kids and the parents each year doing the self-assessment. I'm sorry, I think I got the wrong item. Doing the self-assessment contest, okay, we set a criteria, and they have to meet that criteria to be able to enter into the Hall of Fame of Blue Ribbon Centers. And this year, the winners are attached also for your review, and they include Sullivan City, Palmview 2, Mercedes, Mission 1, Mission 3, Longoria, Edinburgh 4, Monte Alto, La Estancia, and Hidalgo. Those are the winners. Item C, this is our federal review. Attached, I think you saw a letter from the Department of Head Start. This is our 5-year review that we just completed, and I like to point to the middle paragraph, the sentence that says, the last sentence in the middle paragraph that says, we have found your program meets all the requirements of all the applicable Head Start standards, laws, regulations, and policy requirements. We really like to thank the Commissioner's Court and the Judge's Office for their support, and especially Commissioner Cantu and Commissioner Fuentes. They actually took part, representing the court in the interview process. They were interviewed with the hot lights and everything, I think, and we did really well. This is a testament to that effort. So we really appreciate the Commissioner's Court and the County Judge's Office involvement. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Item number D. Item D, supplemental application, funding application to address transportation needs. This is a once-in-a-lifetime application that an invitation actually that we received from the regional office to apply for additional fundings. It seems that at the end of this year, they may have some additional funding before the end of the fiscal year, which is in June, and they've asked us to submit an application to improve the part of our program, whatever we need improvement on. And we selected transportation because we have our fleet is about 32 buses, but they go back to 1995. So the maintenance on those type of vehicles is really exorbitant. So we think that applying with this for these funds will actually help enrollment, or actually help the attendance in our classrooms. And actually, there's a little bit of competition between us and some of the charter schools in the area. So this is service that we really would be beneficial to our parents and our children. We ask for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. We have item E, please. Presentation for discussion, consideration, and approval to enter into a memorandum of understanding between Hidalgo County Head Start Program and the Tropical Behavioral Health. This is again to offer mental health services to to our families and children, assessments and direction and follow-ups.
Move for approval. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item F, presentation for discussion, consideration, and approval to enter into a memorandum of understanding between Hidalgo County Head Start Program and the Forest and Juan Alamo Independent School District.
Move for approval?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item G, discussion, approval of relocation of Ed Couch Head Start Center classroom to Ed Couch Elsa Independent School District. The JRG Early Child Center, they're actually making room for us into this new campus that they have, and it's going to be terrific for the kids and the families.
Move for approval. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item H, discussion and approval to disburse lump sum summer paychecks for staff who resigned as of the last summer leave day / working day of the position assigned. This we do every year to actually help us with recruitment for the following year for teachers.
Move for approval?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item I, discussion and approval of the Hidalgo County Head Start Program self-assessment report. Again, this is the federal regulation that we need to provide to them on a yearly basis. It's a report that assesses the services that we provide to the families. And this year, we had over 400 parents that participated in the assessment, and we ask for your approval.
Move for approval?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Discussion and approval of summer work schedule. We do this every year. We put it to a vote. And the schedule that you see attached from 6 to 7, 4 days a week, is what staff voted on.
Move for approval. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. TJ Arredondo with the Planning Department. The first item is preliminary approval with the variance request. 6 Western Ranches subdivision, Unit 2 and Precinct 3 is a 5 single-family and 1 commercial lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Drainage is natural percolation within the lots and runoff draining into mile 6 and western roadside ditches. Was approved by the City of Mission. Water is provided by Agua Sun and septic tanks will be used. The variance is to allow an 81-foot wide lot instead of the required 100-foot width for lot 203 off of Western Road, and to allow a 65-foot lot width instead of 70-foot lot widths for lots 205 and 206 off of mile 6 North Road. We recommend approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Next 2 items are up for preliminary approval. Josie Vera subdivision, Precinct 4 is a 5-lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Drainage is natural percolation within the lots and runoff draining into Cesar Chavez roadside ditch. It was approved by the City of Edinburgh. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply and septic tanks will be used. And Midway Country Estate subdivision, Precinct 1 is a 44-lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Drainage is a storm sewer system in addition to detention by provided by widening the existing drain ditch. It was approved by the City of Weslaco. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply and septic tanks will be used. We recommend approval for both subdivisions.
Move for approval.
Second.
You say it was approved by Wesco?
Yes, sir. It's in the ETJ of Weslaco, so the city approved it as well.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
The next 3 items are up for final approval. Figueroa Rodriguez subdivision, Precinct 1 is a 2-lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Drainage is natural percolation within the lots and runoff draining into mile 9.5 roadside ditch. It was approved by the City of Donna. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply and 2 septic tanks have been installed. The next one is Salida del Sol Estates Phase 7 in Precinct 3, a 31-lot subdivision in a flood zone C. Drainage is a storm sewer system in addition to detention by widening the existing drain ditch. It's in the rural area of the county. Water is provided by Agua Sud and 31 septic tanks have been installed. 7 streetlights have been installed as well. And last item is Buen Viejo Phase 4 subdivision in Precinct 1, a 92-lot subdivision in a flood zone C. Drainage is a storm sewer system and widening of the existing drain ditch. It was approved by the City of Donna. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply and 92 septic tank systems have been installed. Additionally, 14 streetlights have been installed. We recommend final approval for all 3 subdivisions.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And just for your information, On the streetlights, we have an escrow that is provided by the developer that will roughly pay for about a year to year and a half ahead of schedule for the streetlight fee. In addition, I would say 95% of these lots are financed by the owner, which they also have an escrow account for taxes and this type of fees. So just for your information.
Thank you very much.
Judge, Commissioners, if I may, for Precinct 2, item 20A, there's no action to be taken today. Item 20B is requesting approval of an interlocal cooperation agreement between County of Hidalgo and the City of San Juan regarding road and drainage improvements for Precinct 2 Cesar Chavez Road project. This is Owasso Road to Sioux Road.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And item 20B2, in accordance with Section 791.014 of the Texas Government Code, requesting approval of the interlocal cooperation agreement project regarding the Precinct 2 Cesar Chavez Road project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. County Judge, 21A, no action at this time. 21B, requesting approval to accept the counteroffers to purchase a tract of land known as parcels number 15 and 16, associating with the Veterans Boulevard from Abram Road to La Homa Road, with the authority for the county judge to sign the administrative evaluation and approval form.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
21C, requesting approval to accept the counteroffers to purchase a tract of land known as parcels number 4 and 5, associated with the Mile 3 North from Tom Gill Road to Goodwin Road project, with the authority for the county judge to sign the administrative evaluation and approval form.
Move for approval.
Second.
Thank
Those
you.
in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Court. Belinda Reyes, Precinct 4, representing Precinct 4. Item 22A, hold a public hearing to consider public comments to rename a dedicated public street within Las Brisas Estate subdivision as petitioned by the residents and tenants of said subdivision.
I hereby declare a public hearing to hear comments regarding the name change. Is anybody here signed up? I declare the public hearing closed.
Thank you. Authorization approval to change the legal name of dedicated public street located within Las Brisas Estate subdivision pursuant of Chapter 251.013 of the Texas Transportation Code as followed. Las Brisas Circle shall be renamed to Alfonso Flores Drive.
Have you notified 911 and all? All right. Move
And
for
it-
approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
If I could just share a little bit of background just for your knowledge. The residents and tenants of Las Brisas Estate subdivision petitioned to legally change a county name public road in honor of Mr. Alfonso Flores. He is a resident of the said subdivision, so we had the signatures from everyone there, but he is a decorated United States Army Forces veteran who served during Vietnam War. He was awarded 3 Bronze Star Medals, 1 Purple Heart Medal, 1 Vietnam Service Medal, and 1 Vietnam Campaign Medal, 1 Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry with a Palm Medal and a Combat Infantry Badge. So,
Wow.
yes, very decorated. We
Why-
did invite
why-
his family to be here,
Why
but,
not like his title,
I'm sorry,
like a sergeant or lieutenant, or
we can check with the family. We can check with his
only
family.
to recognize his rank in the service that he provided? That would be appropriate, I think.
We did ask the family if they wanted to be here today, but the wife said that he gets very nervous with these type of things, so we do plan to go out and just do a little special thing with him.
I just think maybe including his rank and see if that might be something they would consider.
Sure. I'll do that. Thank you. Item 22B, hold a public hearing and consider public comments to rename a portion of Mile 17 North, a dedicated public street between FM 907 Alamo Road and Terry Road as requested by the community.
I hereby call a public hearing to consider the renaming of this item. Anyone here like to address the commission? Being none, that closes the public hearing.
Thank you. Item 2B of that is the authorization approval to rename the legal name of the dedicated public street located within Section 249 of the Texas Mexican Railway Company Survey, Hidalgo County, Texas, and pursuant to Chapter 251.013 of the Texas Transportation Code as follows. The portion of mile 17 north between FM 907 Alamo Road and Terry Road shall be renamed to Jaguar Drive.
Move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C, number 1, hold a public hearing to consider public comments to rename a dedicated public street located south of lots 35 and 36, Baker Subdivision, and north of Tamron Estates, commonly known as Amber Lane, at the request of the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council 911 Services Department.
I hereby open the public hearing to consider the renaming to the street. Anyone here for that purpose? Hearing none, that concludes the public hearing.
Item C2, authorization and approval to change the legal name of a dedicated public street commonly known as Amber Lane and pursuant to Chapter 251.013 of the Texas Transportation Code as follows. The county public road located north of Tamron Estates subdivision and south of blocks 35 and 36 of Baker subdivision shall be renamed to Letty Lane as approved by the 911 Service Department.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Afternoon, Judge Commissioner Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget Management. Item 23A is the introduction of the Wellness Program Coordinator, Ms. Yana Hualpa. Ms. Yana Hualpa, we recently hired her roughly about a month ago, and she'll be heading up the wellness program for the county.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. It is my pleasure to be here and officially introduce the wellness initiative that we have been developing. Under the leadership of Budget Officer Sergio Cruz and Employee Benefits Director Flora Vasquez, the Hidalgo County Comprehensive Wellness Program has been established using a holistic approach to health and wellness, with the purpose of curtailing healthcare costs by improving the employees' health and well-being, therefore also improving the services that we provide to the constituents of the County of Hidalgo. The program will focus on the various areas of wellness, including physical activity, eating habits, mental and emotional health, occupational wellness, and a culture of prevention and well-being. I would like to take also this opportunity to thank you all for your continued support throughout the development of the program, and I would like to invite you to actively participate in the initiatives that we're going to be starting to have in the following month. We will have friendly challenges, healthy cooking classes, the employees' health fair, among other events. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to contribute to the wellness and health of our employees. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners. Item 23B, presentation of the 2020 budget process calendar and development criteria. Judge Commissioners, we're going to start the budget process a little bit early this year. So we hope to have the budget application program open up mid-May, May 13th, so that the departments can start entering their budget requests for this fiscal year. We'll take the month of June to analyze the data and the requests, and then hopefully start having the workshops beginning in July. That way we'll have 3 months available for workshops, and culminating in the adoption of the budget in September 24th, Tuesday, September 24th. Again, as far as on trying to develop this budget, as far as the development criteria that we'll be using, again, we'll try to develop the budget using no tax increase for the budget, trying to maintain the staffing levels to what we have currently. We will look to apply a cost of living adjustment. Right now, The first quarter, it's only been about 0.3% that it's increased over last year. So it is a smaller cost of living adjustment. However, we also do hope to propose to the court to have the step increase as in accordance with our grade and step plan. That way, individuals that have been in the step for the year or for the time period that they've required within their step, they'd be able to get that step increase and be able to do that for both regular county employees and the law enforcement as well. Again, we'll be looking to implement no new projects unless they're basically cost neutral or generate the revenue to be able to sustain that program. And then also maintain the current operating budget to just make sure that we don't increase that significantly. And then also, again, in regards to grant positions, we do have the policy where if the grant ends, then that position is either terminated or that program is terminated. And of course, if there are any grants that we'll be terminating this year, we'll bring those to the courts and then provide that recommendation. And then also we'll be looking to see if the court will be willing to adhere to a 90-day hiring freeze for positions. Basically what that would entail would be once the position becomes vacant, basically it wouldn't be refilled until 90 days, and just sort of to be able to provide additional lapses for the year. So basically that's the criteria and the timetable that we'll be looking for the budget process. And again, we'll provide bulletins as budget process begins, and we'll submit the documentation to all the departments to make the
Do you need
request.
action on that?
No, just a
Yeah, that's
presentation. No
information.
actions needed. Yes.
Okay.
Item 23C is discussion and update regarding the subdivision streetlight program, and I'll have Mr. Ray Salazar present that to the court.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Commissioners, this update specifically, we're looking at the partnership that we've made, the county as a whole, with the community subdivision residents. Initially, when we developed this program, the partnership, the consensus was that we were going to improve the health, wellness, and quality of life for the individuals living in these subdivisions. The partnership was that we were going to continue to sustain the program as long as the individual community members continue to do their part of this partnership. Their part being their contribution to their streetlight fee that's assessed by the county on an annual basis on their tax statement. And I'm here to report to you that as a whole, for all of our subdivisions, we have a 89% collection ratio for our subdivisions. What this means is on the streetlight fee, specifically as assessed on an annual basis, that our subdivision residents are complying with this partnership that we developed with them. So we hope with your support and their support to continue the program. I understand that the numbers that were previously discussed had to do with tax delinquencies. And there is a process that the county takes when we are collecting our tax delinquencies. The tax office as a whole submits notifications on a periodic basis, and after a certain cutoff, then they start initiating further actions. So as a whole, the county does have a process to collect its delinquencies, but specifically on the streetlight fee, they are complying at 89%. So I just wanted, for the record, make that known for everyone so that our community at large can understand that this true partnership is working.
Thank you for sharing.
When one of the entities that makes part of the tax that somebody's paying files a suit or makes an effort to collect the tax, does the other party that did initiate the action becomes a beneficiary of that action? In other words, if the city of Edinburgh pursues somebody, we don't pursue somebody, but do we get a share of the collection efforts, or only the city of Edinburgh?
No, my understanding is that there's a proration based on the outstanding for the various entities that are owed funds.
Okay. I think that I had heard the same thing, that they're not legally allowed to collect for only one entity, that it
Correct.
would be collected on behalf of all the taxing bodies.
So the duty to pursue somebody that's delinquent not only lies with us, but it lies with all entities that file the tax. Is that correct?
That's correct. A lot of the entities have their own delinquent tax attorneys that act on their behalf, just like we have ours to act on our behalf. Once payment is received, it is prorated based on the contract.
Well, thank you for that information.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
Item 23D1 is approval of the 2019 appropriation of funds into Precinct 1 Road and Bridge, a total amount of $365,068.62.
Move for approval.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
I guess Fuentes didn't want the money put.
I didn't pay my taxes.
We're more than welcome to take it if you don't want it.
Item 23D2 is approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor and appropriation of those funds and the amount of $265,000, and these are for insurance settlement proceeds.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Insurance settlement is property.
No, this is property.
Okay.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone
I'm
opposed?
sorry.
Motion carries.
These are the proceeds from last, yes,
Okay, the what? I'm sorry?
the rain event?
Oh, the rain event, okay.
They're-
good.
Yeah,
The-
you
the-
better.
Yes, there's not a conflict. Okay, thank you.
Correct.
Yeah, second.
Yes, not health insurance, it'll be property.
Okay, thank you.
Was there a
Weird.
action? Okay. Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
You were just anxious to get there, weren't you?
Last but never least, Judge. 24A1, Purchasing Department, Martha Salazar. 1A, requesting approval of a professional engineering services agreement with Strada Engineering and Consulting LLC for Monte Alto Community Solar Light Street Project located in Precinct 1.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And pursuant to Hidalgo County Commissioners Court action and approval of the professional engineering services with Strata, we're asking for approval of work authorization 1 in the amount of $28,105.90 for the same project.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Now, I'm a little confused right here. We just approved the engineer, but we're also approving the fee. I thought we would approve the services and then you negotiate the fee.
You have the full contract there, and the services are included in the fees in the contract. That's how you're able to get the work authorization
I
approved
see.
at the same time.
Okay, got it.
Okay. B1 for precinct 2 is requesting approval to purchase playground equipment, shades, safety surfacing, splash and pad equipment, and installation through county's membership and participation through the TASB Buy Board's Cooperative Purchasing Program, awarded vendor Exerplay contract as numbered there with requisition 392495 in the amount of $954,353.44 for the inclusive park project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C1 for precinct 3, presentation of the sole qualified responsible vendor, Maria E. Esparza, for the purpose of awarding the bid and approving the contract for the project titled Lease of Land for the Solid Waste Collection Station, and that's approximately 2 to 5 acres in the area of Sullivan City.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
For precinct 4, approval to exercise the county's sole option to terminate work authorization 1 and supplemental agreement 1 in connection with on-call professional services agreement under contract number 130 with Half and Associates Incorporated, drainage park improvements for Memorial Park Project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
For E1, this is for Health and Human Services Department. This is presentation of the sealed bids received for the purpose of award and approval of the contract to the responsible vendor submitting the lowest and best bid for Hidalgo County's Health and Human Services Department's funeral and burial services for qualified indigent families, contract number 033, and that is with Legacy Chapels LLC.
Yeah, it came lower than the last time.
Yes, sir, it did.
I have a motion.
Move for approval.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
F1, Budget and Management, approval to execute the City of FAR rental agreement for use of the Event Center on June 19th, 2019, in the amount of $3,000 for the purpose of holding the Hidalgo County Health Fair.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
For Colonia Access Program for Precinct 4, G1, XA, acceptance and approval of final construction contract approved by Commissioners Court on March the 12th in the amount of $91,828.60 for contract number CCAP 302 for Green Valley Development Subdivision between Hidalgo County and Total Commitment Construction.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And pursuant to that award and Texas Local Government Code 262031, the precinct is asking that, and the precinct commissioner, Torres, is asking that we designate Belinda Reyes to execute change orders that are less than $50,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
H1 for juvenile probation, requesting authority to advertise with approval of the request for bid procurement packet for the legend and non-legend pharmaceuticals, which they have on a recurring term basis.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Hold on. I'm sorry. This is pharmacy benefits.
It's for pharmaceuticals that they order through a prescription by a physician.
I need to abstain.
15. Better.
You abstain?
I abstain.
Okay, let the record show that Commissioner Francis is abstaining. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. I vote aye.
L1 for countywide, we're asking authority to advertise the request for bids for pipes and related miscellaneous items for countywide, and this is bid number 100.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
J1, this is for IT, approval of change order number 1 from Noble Texas Builders with no cost impact, reflecting an extension of the construction days from 106 to 156 due to the fact that equipment ordered by IT has not been received, and that therefore it's calling for the extension
Move
of
for
time.
approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And K1 for Sheriff's Department presentation of the sealed bids received for the purpose of award and approval of contract to the responsible vendor submitting the lowest and best bid while meeting all specifications and/or requirements. For Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office, purchase of surveillance towers with FLIR, FLIR Detection Incorporated.
Move for approval. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have, thank you.
Do we have
Marty, I have a question on L1. What kind of pipe is that?
They're all listed in the backup.
Oh, okay.
They're all the sizes that each precinct and all users are sent to add or delete anything they want in this bid.
All right.
So it's all sizes.
Do we need to go to closed session?
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay, pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071 and 551.072, we'll be discussing various items listed therein. May I have a motion to return to closed session?
So move.
Move for second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're back from closed session. Are there any action items to be taken?
Yes, Judge, Commissioners, with respect to open session. I'm sorry here. Oh, thank you. With respect to open session, 28A, real estate acquisition appropriation for same, there's no action to be taken. 28B, pending and or potential litigation, there's no action to be taken. 28C, C2728-17-J, Dora Alicia Garza individually, Dora Alicia Garza et al. Versus County Sheriff's Office. Judge, Commissioners, I would ask that the court entertain a motion in settlement of this case in the amount of $20,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
And for the record, item 27 of the agenda, A and B, there is no action.
Okay, I believe that concludes all of our agenda items.
There is no meeting next week until the following, and we will advise everyone accordingly.
8 o'clock.
Okay.
I mean, 9.
9:30 and 10.
Meeting is adjourned.